Well, it's been a while, but I'm fully moved and I somehow have amassed more books than I realized, so it's time for a book haul. Hello and welcome to my channel. And that's right, in this video, we're going to be doing a book haul and a pretty sizable one, a bigger one than I've had in a while. Partially because some books I've been waiting for came in, partially because I ended up stocking up on a series, and then partially because some things were sent to me. But we are going to look at all of them and jump in here. I will really quickly say, though, recently hit 3,000 subscribers. So thank you to all of you who are watching and who have subscribed. That is, I know, not the biggest number on the grand scheme of things, but way higher than I ever thought I'd be. So very thankful and pretty cool milestone to hit. But let's jump into the book haul. So starting with this beautiful edition here. This is Grandmaster by Mercedes Lackey. It also has some Larry Dixon stories in it here too, or ones they did together. This was sent to me by the publisher group here, or Mercedes Lackey's team, I guess, technically, before they sent this and were announced the Kickstarter for the Heralds of Valdemar collection there, which is also just looked absolutely stunning. And just a beautiful book. And it really got me excited to check out more of Mercedes Lackey and Valdemar because I'd been a little mixed on the first trilogy, but I really enjoyed this overall. There were some really cool stories. And so I am planning on jumping back in. We'll talk about a little bit more later. That's kind of a little bit of foreshadowing for a book haul to come because I'm excited to get to more. And then I, at long last, got my Insanity editions of Blackstone Heart and She Dreams in Blood by Michael R. Fletcher. I love me some hardcovers. I love the art on these. The originals had great art as well. Just really, really good art to begin with. But these are super, super cool. I did do shorts looking at both of these special editions in more detail, so I won't spend like a ton of time, but they are just absolutely beautiful, beautiful books. Very, very happy to have these. Then next up, we have this beautiful hardcover illustrated collection of Gormenghast by Mervyn Peake. And one of my patrons, Heidi, sent this to me, and I had just kind of the standard paperback editions. But this, I love me a hardcover omnibus. Big fan of hardcover omnibuses, and has some just really cool different pieces here. I did do a short on this one as well here too. I like to do the shorts with the book mail, but some really cool illustrations. And this one is I'm looking forward to getting started. I'm going to be doing the first book here soon, definitely this quarter. And so really happy to have this nice copy to actually start reading it with because it's always nice when you have a nice reading copy there as well here too. So I'm really excited to get to that too. And Gormenghast is one of those series I'm so curious about because I've heard a lot about it. And I know it can be kind of divisive, but it's just supposed to be like all prose in a good way. And so I'm really excited to get to that one. So I'll be curious to see where that kind of land there. Then we have probably the biggest chunk here because, in case you've missed me talking about it quite a few times on the channel of late, I have absolutely been loving the Vorkosigan saga by Lois McMaster Bujold, and I've been slowly amassing a mostly odds and ends type of collection. Although you can see here, I've gotten really lucky with finding the hardcovers that I had in used bookstores and just around. And I had a collection of mass market paperbacks, some trade paperbacks, and some small hardcovers, and kind of a mix here. But it came to my attention that NESFA, or the New England Science Fiction Association, is like pretty much the only place that you can actually get new hardcovers of the early books. I had kind of an adventure here because they are, I guess, like a volunteer run organization, so I tried to give them some grace, but they pack orders once a week, and I missed the cutoff, so I had to wait weeks for them to even like look at my order basically. Then it was a big delay with getting shipped. They forgot to send me one of the books. They didn't pack them the best, so they're mostly fine, but a couple like this one got a little bit crumpled, so I was a little bit peeved, but I'm really, really happy to have in my collection quite a few of the books here. So we have Shards of Honor. These aren't actually in order, apparently. Shards of Honor, Brothers in Arms, Borders of Infinity, which is a collection of shorts, Ethan of Athos, which I just recently read and really loved as well, The Vor Game, The Warrior's Apprentice. See, a couple of these are in plastic. If they all were, that would have been cool, but alas, not so much. And then we also have Barrier, Falling Free, which is like a prequel one, I think. And then this one's paperback, but Dreamweaver's Dilemma, which is I think like also a like super prequel type of one here. So between all of those, I had pretty much the whole series. So I went to track down the first time, besides getting those, the first time I've actually gone out and actively tried to find these. I've just been really lucky. I wanted to get hardcovers for the rest, so I was able to get hardcovers after some work, actually, because I buying used books on Amazon is always kind of a whole thing. But I got this copy of Ganda, which was listed as new. Certainly wasn't new, but it was priced like used, so it was kind of okay. But I got a copy of Komar from there too that was also listed as new and was heavily used, which I returned. But thankfully, ended up finding this really nice condition copy at a used bookstore when I was visiting an area that actually has them because I live in the middle of nowhere now. So the final one I need is Memory, which also was one that I ordered that was supposed to be new and arrived super beat up and definitely not new. So I went and I bought it from somebody on eBay who then canceled the order saying that they had already sold the book. And so I bought another copy on eBay that has allegedly shipped and hopefully will arrive, and that will complete the collection because I still have quite a good chunk to go. I don't think I'm even quite halfway through the series, maybe, but I really enjoyed the series. I knew I wanted the hardcovers, and so I'm really happy to have added those all to my collection. So I teased a little bit earlier. I am interested in getting back into Valdemar because Grandmaster, that collection of shorts, just kind of revitalized my interest. I'd always planned to go back, but I wasn't sure where or what series. So I talked about that, and some people gave me some recommendations. And on the same trip, when I was actually near a used bookstore, I happened to find this trilogy, which is the Collegium Chronicles, which was sold to me as basically it's really similar to the original Harold's trilogy, but it's much later in her career as a writer, and it's just really like higher quality. So these are in the wrong order, but this is Foundation, Intrigues, and Changes. And again, pretty decent condition of these hardcovers. They are the smaller ones, but again, I feel like I hadn't been around too. So sorry to half price books people or people who live around my old half price books. I hadn't been there in obviously a while because I moved, but I was back and I definitely got lucky with a few things here. So I was pretty happy about it overall there with it. But yeah, so I'm excited to get to those because I do really want to try more Mercedes Lackey. That was one of the series that was recommended to me, and I just happened to find it in hardcover in a matching set. Couldn't get much luckier than that. I also ended up I first alone bought the Vorkosigan books as well as a few other things because we finally sold our old house after moving, and so I was able to do just a little bit of kind of excess stuff too. So I also got some stuff from my wish list that had been on there for a while that I just hadn't gotten. So and out of those, we have the Voidwalker collection by Derek Bailey in hardcover. I've had the paperback copy. Actually, it was originally a review copy the author sent me years ago. At this point, one it's really lingered with me. It's really stuck with me. It's a super unique type of story. It's got some like fantastical elements, but it's a little different. It's somebody who's in our real world starts having these extremely vivid dreams in this manner with all kinds of weird characters, and then kind of goes on like a journey of self-discovery between the dreams and the real life. And it's something that took me by surprise how much I liked it the first time that I read it. And it's a collection of 8 novellas, and that are all bound up in this collection. And I not only did I enjoy it, but it's really stuck with me ever since. And so I ended up seeing at some point that he had a hardcover version available. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely wanted to get that. And then a couple of other things that were originally review copies that I didn't have physical copies of I wanted to grab, including The Artificial Structure, formerly known as The Moon by I.K. Stockbeck. This was a kind of just a weird sci-fi one. It felt like a throwback type of sci-fi and was super interesting and just examining this society where there are these people who live on sort of the outskirts and they're told things are a very specific way, but then somebody finds out that there's more going on than it seems. And it's sort of this just weird sci-fi one that's really ideas-based sci-fi, which is kind of I feel like ideas-based sci-fi was kind of the older sci-fi, like especially like 50s, 60s. There was a lot more of that. You get a little bit less of it now. So really interesting one. I wanted to grab a copy as well as Over London, which originally this is another fun one to try and get from Amazon. I had to order multiple copies to get one that wasn't destroyed when it arrived to me because they don't know how to pack things. But Over London by George Penney and Tony Johnson. I don't know that there's actually been a sequel to this yet, but it's part of the Arraign Agency investigation, so I think there was supposed to be more. This though, I was originally sent the audio, and I really enjoyed the audio. This is sort of a Discworld-esque type of, British humor, but it's one of the few that I felt actually like the humor worked because I feel like sometimes trying to use that style of humor does not always work for me, but it really worked really well. It's like sky pirates. There are anthropomorphic animals. There's this silly mysteries, people exploding. It was a really fun time, and so while if I do reread, it would probably be the audio again. I wanted to have this physical copy to add to my collection. Then I realized that I was at the point where I needed to buy the next Vlad Taltos combo book. So this one has Zur and Jagala, and it's the book of Jur. I don't know how to actually say it. But thankfully, there were Ace originally, and then Tor took over. Because the Book of Dragon is the one before this, and that one was Tor. So I'm hoping they keep going. I do have a couple of the later Vlad Taltos books in their own volumes in paperback, but I'm going to keep getting these collection ones if I can, because I always love when I can get combos and it saves shelf space, and I still get books that I really want to get. So I'm excited for that. That series has just been kind of a breath of fresh air. Every time I've done one, and I've ended up a couple of times, I just plan to do one, but then I do the next one because I've just really enjoyed them. They're also kind of different from some of my normal type of stuff, but they're just absolutely fun, full of action. Follows Vlad, who is at the beginning anyway, he's an assassin and he works for the Jareg, which are a kind of like mafia-esque type of organization. It's in a very fantastical world with all kinds of just crazy different bits of magic and world building, and you find out more and more, and once the characters click, it went really well. And then before you can get tired of the format, because some of the books are a little bit similar in the format, then there's a few that are super different, and then you go back to the Book of Dragon, which was really like a throwback to like the early ones, which I liked even more. So I'm all in on this series. It's not going to be like a favorite of all time, but I've just really enjoyed my time with it, and that's always nice with the series when you just really are enjoying. Then I have a really nice other big stack of books here that were sent to me, which will take a minute to go through here. But this is a collection of novellas from indie authors that were sent to me by Mike Molman, who's also an indie author. And most of these I have not read. I'm not actually familiar with all of them either, although a few of them I am. So we're going to take a look at these really quick. I'm thinking I might end up doing, some of these are too short to count, but these might be good readathon ones for the ones that are, or I might just try and I did kind of a short fiction time toward the end of the year last year just to get through some quick things. So I might do like a month focused on this, or novella Novembers or something like that maybe. But we have Not Your Mountain by AJ Alexanders. This says, he wanted to be an adventurer, but adventure could cost him his home. Matty has spent his whole life working in the mines. It's all he's ever known to do: sing to the stone, extract its riches, and learn its properties. But after an unexpected visit from a dwarven adventurer, his life takes a seismic shift. That's kind of the start there. So I'm not really sure. And maybe I should read the rest because I'm just curious to see what the rest of this is going to say. So we'll get back into narrator voice. Dwarves never leave Craig and Dell, and guests never visit. But now Matty wants to change all of that. With his cunning, bravery, and will, Matty sets off with his left foot forward and stumbles. Join Matty as he embarks on a comedic fantasy adventure meant to captivate and amuse, where monsters, adventure, and unlikely companionship await. If I would have realized it was going to be a comedy, I would have probably used a different voice. But oh well, it's too late now. So that could be interesting. Comedy ones can be hit or miss, but I'm still not really sure. But that definitely got me curious here. Then we have Smuggler's Fortune by Angela Board. This is a standalone novella in the Itarian Empire, it says. So we have I'd been ridiculed, rejected, robbed, and almost dismembered, and I'd only been in the area a week. Definitely seen this type of tagline before. Mercenary Kira Diolente's homecoming is not as triumphant as she hoped. Her family is dead, her pockets empty, and the man she loves missing. And a bunch of out-of-work sellswords want to steal her metal arm. So when an encounter with an old friend leads to a smuggling job, she's more than willing to hop on board in exchange for a bag of coins and a little revenge. But will this mysterious cargo be worth the firestorm it ignites? So this seems like kind of a sort of westerny feeling type of thing, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure, but this feels some smuggling fantasy. So okay, sounds a little bit different. Should be fun. Oh, we have The Incident at Peeling Head by E.L. Monaghan. Now, this one I specifically know because Mike Mullman has told me that he is very brutally murdered in this book. And so that'll be, I feel like, interesting just for that. There's a character he's Takarai as, but we have stealing from outer planet rebels is dangerous. Stiffing the psychotic crime boss that hired you is insane. Captain Melissa Stone did both. Now she's got to steal back the rebel secrets she gave away once she'd seen them to save her daughter. Every pirate has an origin story. This is hers. So it seems it's space pirates. So maybe some Firefly type thing going on. Could be interesting there. Then we have Bitter Ends by G.J. Terrell. This says, Noosemen, blessed by the Six, cursed by their blood, loathed by their liege. Dennick has only ever known the noose, but when he takes matters into his own hands and kills a fellow member, he must decide between his loyalty to the king he serves or the friends he... This is weird. Okay, so this is really weirdly worded on here. It's apparently part of a Bloodwoven series. Okay. The King's News. So is he I'm not sure if he's an executioner or what's going on there, perhaps? That would kind of make sense, but yeah, I'm not really sure on that one. Another one could be interesting here. We have Unlucky Evens Cursed Odds by Bill Adams. Now let's see, is this gonna be another... It doesn't sound like a comedy. I'm trying to get the announcer voices right here, but The Hateful Path, that of the Ninth Born. The survival of the Ark, humanity's last bastion after... This is... I don't know why we're doing this, but this is what we're doing. The survival of the Ark, humanity's last bastion after God's wrath destroyed the world, is balanced by birth order. The Oddborn are assigned a path, the Evenborn are given over to the will of God, and it is upon these of the Ninth-born path to sanitize the Evens. Join... I can't read today, I'm sorry. John 59129's first walk as a Niner is the same day the scientists of the Ark plan to defy God by seeking to turn back time. An electrical surge sends John past the safety of the Ark into an unblemished world, a glimpse of perfection of all the Evenborn saved. But when John wakes, he's back in the Ark, 20 years after the failure to harness time. Was his encounter real or just a dream caused by an accident? Are those in charge of the Ark keeping the Oddborn caged? Is God the monster or is it mankind? For John 59129 to find out before his own child is born, he must be willing to play the odds. That sounds like a lot. I'm not entirely sure about this one. Sounds like there's a ton going on there, so that's probably one I'd have to kind of read to figure out. But seems maybe interesting, kind of stylistic type of sci-fi there. So we'll have to see on that one. This is a really tiny one. The Whisper That Replaced God by Timothy Wolfe. So we have Murder is just so long as it serves the crown. Hidden behind... Oh man, I'm terrible at reading today. Hidden behind a mask and with a dagger in his sheath, Mute serves the crown with pride. A fair life, if not a monotonous one. But his next contract nicks too close, for murder within a brothel is always nasty business. Especially the one which Mute... I'm giving up. This is why narrators read slowly, for the record, because when you try to read something you've not read before and you try to do it too fast, you mess up constantly. But especially trying to do a voice, I feel like is making this much worse. I'm also filming this late at night because I didn't have time to film this weekend. So kind of a mix of stuff here. But anyway, the one which Mute frequents, the brothel his Dorothy works, his Dorothy who awaits Mute and only Mute. Surely none would dare touch her, for if they did, royalty or not, they would fall to Lord Mute, the silent god's chosen one. They would scream, and not a sound would be heard. So this seems like... I don't know if this is sort of horror-esque, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. That one doesn't sound super up my alley, but all of these, I think they're so short that they're going to be worth a shot at some point here, so we will have to see. Next up, we have Tan's Last Stand by K.E. Sanders. And we have the land of the great river is a sparsely inhabited and often lawless place. When bandits threaten the existence of their village as well as their lives, Holt and Theon must leave to look for aid. Can they find any warriors with integrity and honor to fight for them before it is too late? This retelling of the classic tale of Seven Samurai and the Magnificent Seven is the first glimpse into a whole new world, where adventure is never far away. Okay, so retelling of the Seven Samurai, so I'm at least somewhat familiar with that one here. Oh, I know this one. I haven't read this one, but Death Sketch by Tobias Youngblood and Oliver Shade. I'm actually reading False Idol, which is the third in the Projectionist series by Tobias Youngblood right now. But I know I heard this one. I think Andrew read this one. Sort of a like, he called it Goosebumps for adults, I think, if this is the one I'm thinking of. But it's Nightmares #1, it says. So we have starving artist Paul De Montes receives a life changing offer, but at what cost? When Paul De Montes receives an invitation to join the Elite Illustration Society, his financial woes finally seem at an end. He can look past the firm's pastiche commercial style if it means food in his belly and heat in the harsh northeast winter. But when his assignment appears to change on the page, he may soon regret his decision, because either he's losing his mind or he's about to discover something far worse than poverty. So I think this is supposed to be more horror side, so it'd be an interesting one to try. Maybe I'll try the horror themed ones in October. I don't really read a lot of horror, so that'd probably be the time. Um, oh, I don't know this specific one too, but I know this series. So this is The Bounty and the Bones, a Weird West novelette by J.R. White. So I read Shadow of Wolves by J.R. White a while back. And I need to read the second one. I haven't here yet, but apparently I can try this one out here too. Definitely like a weird West novel. Yeah, very much so. It was super interesting. It was sort of like somewhat fantasy, somewhat horror, somewhat Western. So this is, let's see if this says when it takes place. So we have aging manhunter Harlan Slade needs a bounty and fast. When a gang of dingy outlaws. I mean, it's technically how you could pronounce it. When a gang of dingy outlaws wanders into town, it seems his troubles are postponed. But when he overhears their hushed whispers of gold in the cliffside ruins of the Sonoran Desert, he wonders if there's more than just a bounty to be had. Slade tracks the men into the desert night, ready to take the treasure for himself. But something dwells in the ruins, lying in wait, and as the hideous truth unfolds, both the manhunter and his prey will find there's more gleaming in the shadows than gold. Harlan Slade is a pretty cool manhunter type of name, but yeah, imagine another kind of weird horror western thing. Very interested in that because I don't tend to like a lot of western type of stuff, but that one was really, really entertaining and kind of cool, and I want to continue that series. So we have that. This one I don't know. The Map of the Drowned City: A Tale from the World of Bitterwood by James Maxey. Oh, that's really large print here. Elspeth Howell, age 11, dives among shark infested ruins to satisfy her father's hunger for gold. When she finds a rare relic from ancient times, she hopes this treasure will bring good fortune for her family. Instead, she awakens a slumbering behemoth and pays a terrible price to escape the drowned city. So this is kind of interesting. It looks almost, this one looks insanely short. Actually, the print is, it's only like 50 pages and the print is huge. So that'll be a really quick one to get through. And then finally, last but not least, we have The Revenge of the Thousands by Michael Roberti, which I actually have read. I just read an ebook copy of it. I didn't have a copy. This is by Michael Roberti. It's the Crown and Tide prequel. So I've got the first book in this series, which is over here somewhere. I don't know where it actually went, but it's The Traders We Are is the first book. And I still need to read book 2. I have read this one, but I haven't read book 2 of that series. So I definitely need to. But now it's nice that I have both the prequel and book 1 physical copies yet as well. So those are the novellas and like shorts that I was sent there as well. So lots of interesting stuff to dig into. Then finally, we have a few random things I picked up at a miscellaneous used bookstore that I had never been to in just the town I kind of went to for fun. I'm still kind of slowly exploring new bookstores when I get a chance and doing little day trips and whatnot here and there. So they happen to have The Shearing Knife by Lois Master Bujold. Now, I have full-size hardcovers of 3 of the books of this series, but I don't have this one. So this is a shorter hardcover. It's a one of those like collection ones. and some it was like $3. So I'm like, I'm gonna grab this because I don't actually have a physical copy of this first book, and so now I do. And then I grabbed a couple of these cool classics because these are I'm a sucker for these just style of books. So here we have The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, and then The Pathfinder by James Fenimore Cooper, and Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. I've read none of these, and I know specifically for Hawthorne, Cooper, and those two, I know they have better known books than these ones. Ivanhoe, I know I just haven't read either, so not really sure when I will get to these, but I'm always a sucker for some of these style books. So these will join the other kind of classics I have on my shelves. But that will conclude today's book haul. So quite a lot of stuff. Like I said, stocked up on a few, and I had some great things sent to me here. I'm gonna have to organize a little bit and get the Vorkosigan books on the shelf for sure to join the rest of them that are there, and move some stuff around here too, as well as the new special editions. They've got to go somewhere, so there'll be a little bit of shelf reorganizing somewhere. I don't know if I'll do that live or not, but it'll be happening at some point. I'll have to get things reorganized a little bit. That's pretty much it for this one. So let me know your thoughts on any of the books I talked about here, or feel free to mercilessly critique my dramatic reading and stumbling over many of the descriptions of many of these novellas, because that was interesting. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on any of these, or if there are any really interesting things that you've gotten in the meantime. And since I've done a last book haul, it's been a little bit. Love to hear from you in the comments. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the links in the description as always for the Patreon if you want to support what I do, as well as the Wizard of the Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.